Yes, sir. That's what I'm gonna be doing. In the finals, gonna be fighting against Kazuya. So right now, where can we see in this fight, Levi? Rocco!
Welcome everyone to the World of Bleach 2016 Championship. It looks like we've got Cole versus Rick going right now. My mic was muted a little bit earlier, so I apologize for that. We're in here now. They're trading AoEs back and forth. With the aid of the offense boost, Rick was able to punch through Cole's lightning with the knockback, which is leading him to a bit of a health advantage. However, Cole managed to land some blows back. Cole's now activating his heal. He heals himself all the way up to full. Rick did so as well. With those heals blown, though, those heals are on a 9-turn cooldown. Or for the shop versions, they're on about an 8-turn cooldown. So it's going to be quite a while before they're able to use them to recover again, unless they have 2 heals. However, the problem with having 2 heals is there's still innate heal reduction. So when you use 1 heal, you get 50% heal reduction applied to yourself. And that only falls off at 12% per turn. So you can't use 2 heals too rapidly, or else you'll get significantly reduced effect from the second one.
All right, so we got Rick using a movement boost. He's gonna be trying to avoid those binds, avoid the famous ice AOE that Cole packs. It's really difficult, to. Mm, got knocked back by Cole.
It looks like Cole's trying to counter that movement boost by just creating as much distance as possible. The ice AoEs are particularly hard to deal with at rank 5 because at rank 5, the movement squares, if you're Spirit, I believe you still only have 1 movement square at rank 5.
I didn't know about that. That's kind of tough.
So in the ice AoE, even if it only binds 1 or 2, it makes a huge difference. I'll check here on Rick to just double check what spec he is.
If he capped that movement boost, he could have 2 extra squares, right?
That's correct. The lower rank movement boost does give 2 squares. And it looks like Rick is indeed Spirit. So he only has 1 movement square normally.
So now he has 3.
Exactly. He's using that movement boost to full effect. Oh, and it looks like he's moving around. He gets the angle and gets the ice onto Cole.
He's gonna go in afterwards. He's gonna go in. He's gonna grab the defense. Cole's trying to get into his ice lightning AOE for that extra defense too.
With Cole being balanced, he has 2 squares naturally, which actually is a pretty significant advantage. So even with the bind of the ice AoE, he's able to move out of it. However, Rick is continuously hitting through Cole's lightning with the knockback and doing good damage. It's like the lightning wasn't there.
Unexpected, totally unexpected. And Cole does the same thing back to him.
Wow, these guys are just punching through each other's AoE. It's
And
understandable how Rick's AoE could be punched through for that much because when his ice clashed with the lightning, the ice actually gets weakened in the process.
yeah, yeah. Ooh, Rick doing the waiting game. It's about to see what's he gonna do.
With his movement boost worn off, he probably wants to stay clear of Cole for a minute until he gets that cooldown back up. Rick's also at a slight health disadvantage, about 1200 health down, so he doesn't want to get too aggressive before he has his heal cooldown available. But Cole's charging in. He's hitting hard now, 1800 damage onto Rick. This is getting dangerous for Rick now. He's down to 2300 health, half of what Cole has. Is he going to be able to fire an offensive back?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, he used leech. Maybe his heal's not on cooldown yet, so he may not use it.
Oh, smart. With his heal cooldown, instead he uses the leech. There we go. 368 per tick. That's not bad. That means that leech is probably going to absorb about 1400 health over the life of it, which is pretty good at this rank.
Yeah, and Cole counters it with the fire AoE. He's gonna have a hard time right now. Rick only has one movement square. He can only move back to the rock looking for safety, or
Was he
he can.
bound earlier? I'm not sure if he was bound or if he just decided to not move out of the AoE. Either way, he tries to clear through it, but this one is not having any of it. Oh, and Cole comes out with a 2200 recoil, in addition to the 400 damage tick from the residual fire and the 100 damage tick from the secondary residual. Cole takes out all of Rick's remaining health, and Cole takes round one.
Damn, what a good match from Cole. I, woo. If you ask me, I think Rick has a chance, but Cole is an experienced fighter. He wasn't last year's, if I remember. 2 years ago, he was this champion. He's been around rank 5 for about almost 2 years now. So he's a quite experienced player, don't you think?
Yeah, he definitely is. He's been on this game for a long time. I think he was actually higher rank at one point, and then he decided to reset, and he held at rank 5 for a while. So he's been a mainstay in the rank 5 tournament, making it usually to the semifinals or the finals every time. Last year, I think he actually, the only person who beat him in the tournament was Takio, who is now the captain commander of the Shinigami.
My boy Takio. He started with a rep, started from the bottom. Now we're here. He's in the captain commander position now, commander captain.
Yes, indeed. We'll get started with round 2 in a minute here, just giving these contestants a minute to change anything in their equips they might want to.
Mm. So it takes about like 2 minutes to change their equipment, or yeah, change moves, change strategies, change whatever they need to change. By the way, Levi, have you seen Rick's release, Abby? Doesn't it look great?
Yeah, he's got the whole James Bond thing going on there. Quite the contrast to his normal avatar. All
Yes,
right,
indeed.
here comes round 2. It looks like Cole is getting the first turn again. This is a best of 5, so no matter what, we're going to have at least 2 more matches, and then more if Rick manages to take back rounds 2 or 3.
So Cole moves in and he releases. Then Rick uses a knockback right away, not giving him a chance to move in.
Interestingly, Rick opts for the no release start. He opts for the knockback instead. I guess he's trying to buy himself time here to release without getting hit. But it
Cole
looks like
uses a movement boost.
indeed he does. He wants to be able to charge in there. Rick moves back 1 square with that little 1 square spirit range. And there goes his Zanpakuto, Mayonaka no Toyoma.
Hmm. Interesting name.
Cole moves in his. It looks like this technique is probably. I think this is one of the binds we saw earlier. It hits Rick for 1500 damage. If he's not able to move, I think. Yeah, it looks like that's a bind. Hits back with the leech since his health is already getting a little bit low, but he's still got a 100 health advantage over Cole. And as Cole moves in, Rick is absorbing that health. 250. Oh, this is brutal with the bind into the lightning boost. Rick is forced to just sit there and take the ticks. He's probably going to use movement boost right now. There it goes. So he can move out next turn. But for right now, he's taking so much damage.
800 damage.
874 on his own turn, which means on the total of him and Cole's turns, it's 1600 damage. Almost 1700.
Yeah, but also Rick absorbs 500 HP from the leash you used earlier. So
That
it's
leech is
not
just
taking a ton of his health.
It's just barely keeping him alive. With it wearing off, he's going to take at least those 2 more ticks. All right, now he's only going to take 1 more tick from this lightning as he moves out of it. Oh, he doesn't move out. He moves forward. He decides to face tank it and hit Cole with the ice AoE. That'll
Locking
trap
him
Cole
down.
in.
It's gonna trap him. Let's see what Cole do against this. He's probably gonna move out. Set our some boost. No, he stays in.
Oh, he actually, with the 1 square bind from the ice, he didn't quite have enough squares to move out of it. He manages to hit through Cole. Oh, actually, that was his own lightning. But he hits through 1 row of Rick's ice in order to get the attack for 800 damage. That's not a whole lot. And now Rick has that nice shield from the Ice AoE. The Ice AoE usually has a very strong shield. It's the tankiest out of any of the area residuals.
Yes, indeed. I have a hard time with it. Rank 8 most of the time. And Cole uses that dual resist. He doesn't want none of that. Was that a weakness that Rick just did just now?
Now, I'm not sure. We'll see in a minute here. With 1800 damage coming out of the recoil. That's actually, we've seen higher damage at rank 5. It looks like Rick's still taking residual. And the health is now down. It's pretty close now. Rick's Ice AoE is going to be wearing off any turn now. Cole is at 2,500 health. Rick is down at 2,200. We saw Cole hit 2,200 with the recoil last turn. So if this
Yeah.
ice wears off and Rick is caught with his pants down, he could just lose the round right here. I haven't seen either of them use their heals yet. Yeah, so I would expect the heals to come out. Cole uses the fire AoE, but it's stopped by the ice. Apparently, ice is greater than fire.
Yep.
With that, though, the ice AoE is going to be weakened, and I believe that's the 3rd turn of it, so it should be wearing off pretty soon here. And now Cole will have his own to use for shield. There we go. The ice drops off. Oh, Rick is down to 2169 HP. Can Cole finish it off with this attack? He's going to be able to move into his AoE for shield, so this is a very safe bet. One has to wonder, why didn't Rick use that turn to heal?
He could have used it. Maybe he was saving it for later. He survived the hit.
Oh, it only does 1,500 damage. That's the bind. Cole opted for the bind and not the recoil. But that allows Rick to just hit him with the lightning AoE. And actually, due to the position of that and the 2 movement squares Cole will have. Oh, is he able to get that angle? He needs a 5-width attack, and it has to clear through the lightning AoE to be able to hit Rick. But it might. Oh, the recoil for 2,000 damage through the AoE. Oh, he abused. There's a sort of an interesting thing in the game right now where if you have an attack like that, you notice how it's 5 width, right? The second width of it acts as if it never had to break through anything. If you break through a barrier or an AoE with it, it's actually sort of a slight glitch, but for balance reasons, since it was in the game at the start of the tournament and it's not really a critical issue, we're leaving it in until after.
Yeah, and Cole did know that. Cole did know that if his first square will manage to break off the lightning AoE, it will hit for full damage for Rick. Now Rick thought that the lightning AoE will break Cole's damage, but it didn't.
And with that, Cole takes round 2. This is now down to the last one. This is the deciding round right here. If Rick can take this back, we will go to round 4. If not, Cole might take this whole match right now.
He might become the champion yet again. I mean, Rick has only been playing for like 2 months already, maybe 1 month. He's been holding rank, just waiting for this tournament. He's done a good run so far. He's for a newbie, for a person who just came to the game, he's doing quite good. But let's see if he can take match 3. If not, we're gonna call it quits.
All right, waiting for them to finish up their equips. We'll head in the 2nd round in a minute, or 3rd round in a minute. Sorry.
So Levi, please don't nerf melee. Okay.
Well, man, we got to see here. As we've seen in this tournament, if you look at the standings, you look at the rank 8. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, the rank 8 spirits, they just, not so many of them entered and some of them dropped out due to other issues. But, like, even if we include the spirit users who were in the tournament, the stronger ones, even if we assume that they had won their matches, which isn't
Hmm.
even a guaranteed, we had, what was it? Legends, who's now. Oh, here we go. We got the final next round starting.
All right.
This is the third round. This is potentially the decider round. If Cole wins this round, he takes the match and he gets the first turn again. Man, RNG is not on Rick's side this match. He's having to deal with getting the second turn every time.
And that gives quite an advantage at that rank, to be honest. It does give it around.
Indeed, although with only 800 damage done by Cole, the knockback, Rick might be able to do this. Since he's Spirit, he does have longer range, so being far away isn't necessarily something that he's going to be upset about.
So Cole releases his sword. Now it's Rick's turn again. He's released already. But he does have one movement square, so I don't think he's gonna be doing anything from a
Yeah,
melee.
it doesn't look like he's in range to do anything here. So now he has to decide, does he want to move in and use the offense boost? But if he does so, oh, he's opting for the movement boost instead. So he's maintaining his distance. This way, if Cole moves in and uses the ice AoE, or any AoE for that matter, he'll be able to jump around it and land a clean hit onto Cole.
And Cole actually can't reach an attack from over there either, right?
Well, he has 2 movement squares. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. If we look at the distance there, even if he'd moved in, he wouldn't have been able to make that touch. But now he's probably just going to use it as a shield. And by keeping his distance, he makes it so Rick is not able to move around enough to get a clean hit on him. Rick will have to hit through the AoE. Expecting Rick to probably activate the offense boost. There it is indeed. He's activating the offense boost, so his next attack should be able to wipe straight through that lightning.
Hmm. So Rick moves in, does a keto boost, or spirit boost.
Indeed. He's boosting up his offenses so this Keto will fire much stronger. We'll see what the pinnacle of R5 Spirit technology can do. But it looks like Cole's going to follow suit with his own offense boost. That's actually the dual boost. So he's boosting both his
Dual boost.
melee and his spirit offense.
Let's see if he's gonna deal a quite a combo over here. Rick doesn't want none of that. He moves back. He starts thinking, what am I gonna do?
He opts for the dual resist. So this is an interesting tactic. He used the movement boost, then he used the offense boost, and now he uses the dual resist. So he's sort of partially negating his own offense. But it's somewhat a smart move because with Cole being in his AoE, if they traded attacks both boosted, Cole would easily win that trade because the AoE is still going to block some of the damage. So it looks like Rick is opting to use the dual resist to stuff the Cole's combo instead and give himself some defense. Oh, and that dual resist is very effective at negating that impact damage, but he still
Yeah, it
takes
only did.
1,000 damage from it, and he hasn't even touched Cole yet.
Mm-hmm. He only received like 200 damage from that impact damage. Rick goes with the lightning AOE.
It looks like he's able to break through Cole's lightning with it, but Cole's out of there. However, that actually did quite a bit of damage if you look at their health now. Cole is now down to 6,800. He's able to hit Rick down to 4,700 with the recoil, but he takes 500 damage back from it.
Now Rick is his turn, and Cole is weakened for like 2 turns.
Rick's able to move into his AoE using that as a shield. Since he moved into the first line, he might have to be a big... Oh, he goes with the ice there. That's a smart move. With no movement boost, Cole cannot move out of this turn.
He moves back. He takes 400 damage from the residual ice. He's waiting.
That residual ice is hitting pretty hard when you consider the other damage we've seen here. 400 damage on a half tick. That's 800 damage per turn. 1,600
Cole
if you
uses
include
dual
both players.
resist.
The dual resist will be pretty effective at negating that. At rank 5, we don't see a whole lot of penetration. There's no penetration move in the shop. Sword releases, the maximum penetration they're going to have is about 11%. So the dual resist abilities are still very effective at this rank. Interestingly, Rick uses a move we're not sure what this one does. 500 damage. It could be a bind.
Cole moves out. He moves. He's still binded by the ice. I'm pretty sure he's gonna use an ace AOE over here
Oh, he
because
opts for the
Rick has
movement boost
defense.
instead. Rick has a slight health advantage now, 500 health advantage, still in his ice. He should have about 2 more turns left on that ice before it drops off. He moves to the side. Oh, the knockback on the Cole for 1100 damage. That knockback. The knockback effect on it is fairly small. It's only about 2 or 3 squares. But man, the damage on it is pretty good. Cole moves back in. There's the bind we saw earlier. 1600 damage onto Rick. Cole may be mounting an offensive here. Has Rick learned from his mistakes? Is he going to heal now?
Both healths are matched. They're both at 3200 right now. So it's everything can happen. Anything can happen right now.
Indeed. Very much so. Rick is just fighting back, even though Cole got the first turn. In the end, it didn't do a whole lot. Rick did have to move, blow several boosts due to that, but the health is still pretty even. Ah, the fire AoE comes out from Rick, and that's doing damage. 488 damage on the Cole. Cole is actually getting low now, and Rick is not within danger of being recoiled to death yet. So I expect Cole to use the heal now.
You should use the heal, and that was a smart move from Rick.
Oh, the movement boost. He moves like 5 squares across the map and counters with the AoE fire of his own. Rick might barely be able to move 1 square into his own fire, though, just to use it as a shield.
Yeah, that's his best option right now.
Oh, but I guess he's still bound from that ability before. So he has to use his movement boost. But his health is dropping. He's down to 1500. Oh, Cole with the 2000 damage recoil. The fire ticked Rick from 3000 down to 1500. And the 2000 damage. Oh, it wasn't even a recoil. He took him out. With that, Cole takes round 3. And he's going to take the rank 5 finals and become the rank 5 champion.
There you go. That was a good match, to be honest. No, I didn't expect for Rick to be bound to the last moment. He couldn't move in back to his fire AoE, so he had to do the movement boost while standing in fire AoE, taking all that damage.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I think it's a very curious choice not to use the heals here. It's pretty unfortunate that Cole got first turn all 3 rounds, but we definitely saw some areas where both contestants could have played a little bit better, so that's just very unfortunate. All right, it looks like our next match here is going to be the rank 6 finals, which is going to happen at 1300 server time. That's in an hour and a half. So until then, we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll come back to you guys then. See y'all later.